Let me tell you something real. Every champion you admire, every icon, every innovator, every world shaker you know by name, they all started the same way, with a dream. Not money, not connections, a dream. They saw something in their minds before the world could see it. And when they were laughed at, underestimated, ignored, they held on. Why? Because they believed. Because their vision was louder than their fear. And here's what separates the average from the extraordinary: the ability to get back up when most would stay down. Setbacks aren't the end of the story. They are the plot twists that make your victory unforgettable. If you've ever failed, good, that means you're in the game. That means you're alive. That means you've got the scars to prove you're trying. Use those failures. Let them build your hunger. You've got to stop letting your circumstances write your identity. Where you were born, what you've been through, how many times you've fallen, none of it decides who you become. You do. Every single day you wake up, you have the chance to shape your future. That's power. That's responsibility. That's on you. When you have a dream that's big enough, pain becomes fuel. Let that sink in. The sleepless nights, the people who walked away, the voice that says, you're not enough. All of that becomes the pressure that forms the diamond. Don't run from the struggle. Use it. Make it your edge. You want confidence. You want power. Through progress. Through doing what most won't. Small wins create unstoppable momentum. You don't need to make a massive leap. You need to move forward. Daily. Relentlessly. Stack the habits. Stack the effort. Stack the wins. No one is coming to hand you the life you dream of. You've got to rise and take it. Don't wait for permission. Until you feel ready. Start now. Move now. Build now. Because your future self is counting on you to stop hesitating. And look, you can't do it alone. You need fire around you. People who challenge you, push you, refuse to let you quit. If you're surrounded by those who drain you, dim your light, mock your goals, change your circle, protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. And finally, when it hurts, when you're tired, when quitting feels easier than trying again, that's the moment that defines you. That's when most people give up. But that's when why you go one more. That's when why you lean in. That's when why you rise. Dream big, because the world doesn't need more people playing small. And never give up, because your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of I won't quit. Let's get something straight right now. If you have a heartbeat, you have a purpose. And if you have a purpose, then you have a responsibility to go after it with everything you've got. Dream big. Bigger than what seems realistic. Bigger than what your current bank account, your current circumstances, or even your current mindset says is possible. Because the size of your dream determines the size of the life you'll live. Small dreams keep you safe. Big dreams make you grow, and growth is where fulfillment lives. You will be tested. Let's not sugarcoat that. Life is going to hit you. You'll face setbacks that make you question everything. Your worth, your vision, your strength. But here's the truth: most people miss setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're launch pads. They don't happen to you, they happen for you. Every failure, every disappointment, every no you've heard in your life, it's all preparing you for something bigger. It's sculpting your character. It's building your resilience. It's setting you up for a comeback so massive, even you won't recognize the person who rises from it. You've got to stop waiting for ideal conditions to chase your dream. Stop waiting for someone to validate you. No one's coming to crown you. The world crowns the person who refuses to quit. The one who keeps swinging when their back is against the wall. You were built for more. But you've got to believe it before anyone else does. You've got to show up when it's hard, when it's lonely, when the applause is gone and the motivation has dried up. That's the moment champions are made, when no one is watching and you keep going anyway. Your circumstances don't define your destiny. Your choices do. Your background, your education, your past failures, they're not your prison sentence. They're your training ground. You get to decide if those experiences make you bitter or make you better. And if you stay focused on the vision, if you remind yourself daily why you started, you'll find that you can endure almost anyhow. Don't settle for survival when you were born to lead, to create, to inspire. And don't surround yourself with people who only talk about problems. Get around people who think big, act bold, and refuse to let you shrink. Protect your dream from small minds. Fuel your ambition with massive action, because momentum is everything. And every day you take a step forward, no matter how small, you build unstoppable force. And when the pain comes, and it will, don't run, embrace it. Pain is proof you're stretching. Pain is the admission price for greatness. Most people stop at discomfort, but not you. You go one more. You lean in when it gets heavy. You break limits when others build excuses. Because you've decided that enough is no longer good enough. Never give up. Because what seems impossible today becomes inevitable when you're obsessed, when you're relentless, when you stop negotiating with your potential and dream big. Because this world doesn't just need more people. It needs more people on fire, on purpose, awake, ready to rise. That's who you are. So go claim the life that's waiting for you. You don't need anyone's permission to become the person you were born to be. Too many people sit on their dreams, their ideas, Ship their gifts, just waiting for the right time, the right people, the right signs, waiting for someone to tap them on the shoulder and say, "You're good enough now." But that moment never comes. Because the truth is, no one is coming to validate your greatness. No one is going to crown you. Greatness is not handed out, it's claimed. It's earned through bold decisions, imperfect action, and the refusal to stay silent when your soul is screaming to rise. You already have everything inside of you to begin. Ship. The question is, when are you going to stop asking the world for permission to use it? If you're waiting until you feel confident, you'll wait forever. Ship. Confidence isn't a prerequisite. It's a byproduct. It comes from doing the work, from showing up, from falling on your face and realizing you can still get back up. Ship. It comes from betting on yourself before you have proof that it will work. You become powerful the moment you stop outsourcing your potential to other people's opinions. Ship. Too many dreams die because someone was afraid of being judged. Too many gifts stay buried because someone didn't want to fail publicly. But what if you failing is the exact lesson someone else needs to see? What if your courage to start is what gives someone else permission to do the same? You weren't born to be average. You weren't created to live in the shadows of other people's expectations. And yet, so many people dim their light just to keep others comfortable. They downplay their ambition to avoid being labeled arrogant or unrealistic. But here's the truth, playing small doesn't serve the world. Shrinking yourself for approval only guarantees regret. The people who change the game are the ones who were willing to be misunderstood, criticized, and even laughed at. They weren't the most talented. They were the most committed. They moved forward without applause. They got started without being ready. And they decided they didn't need a title, a degree, or anyone's green light to start living like a leader. If there's something inside you, a vision, a fire, a dream that won't let go, that's not a mistake. That's your calling. That's your assignment. And the longer you wait for someone else to recognize it, the longer you delay the impact you were meant to make. The time is now. Not when it feels safe. Not when you have it all figured out. Not when everyone agrees now. The people who win in life are the ones who gave themselves permission to act, to lead, to build, to believe before the world told them it was okay. So stop waiting, step up, own your greatness. Because the life you want is waiting for the version of you who no longer needs anyone's permission to become it. Who you surround yourself with is one of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make. People are not neutral. They're either lighting your fire or draining your fuel. You can have the biggest dream in the world, but if you're constantly surrounded by people who doubt you, mock your ambition, complain about everything, and think playing it safe is the goal, eventually that energy will infect you, not because you're weak, but because you're human. And energy is contagious. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is shaping your standards. It's influencing what you believe is possible. That's why if you want to live on fire, you've got to stop hanging out in the cold. You need to be around people who stretch you. People who challenge you to level up, who speak life into your vision when you're tired, who don't just tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you need to hear. You need people who are doing big things, thinking big thoughts, and living with passion, because that will rub off on you. That will awaken something in you. That will hold you accountable to your potential. The truth is, if you're the most driven person in your circle is too small. Growth requires friction. It requires being uncomfortable. You grow when you're surrounded by people who won't let you settle, who look you in the eye and say, "You're better than this. Get up. Keep going." And let's be real, sometimes that means letting go. It means walking away from relationships that have expired. Friends, family, co-workers. If they constantly plant doubt, mock your progress, or resent your hunger, you don't owe them access to your dreams. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Every moment spent defending your dream to small-minded people is a moment you could have used building it. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or cut people off without love, but it does mean you become intentional. Your dream is too important. Your future is too valuable. You cannot afford to surround yourself with people who are committed to staying stuck. There's something electric about being in a room with people who are obsessed with growth, who talk about goals like they're already happening. Who see failure as feedback and problems as puzzles. That's the fire you need. That's where your standard rises. That's where the version of you that's been hiding starts to wake up. Because iron sharpens iron. Fire ignites fire. And if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, you can't afford to keep dimming your flame just to fit in with people who fear the heat. So make the hard decisions. Build the right circle. Find your fire. And protect it at all costs. Relationship. Because when you're surrounded by people who burn like you do, there's nothing you can't become. So here's the truth. Your dreams were given to you for a reason. They weren't random. They weren't an accident. They are your responsibility. You've been through what you've been through not to break you, but to prepare you. The setbacks, the rejections, the moments when you felt invisible, they were all part of shaping the kind of strength you need to go the distance. But it starts with a decision to stop shrinking, a decision to stop waiting, A decision to never give up even when every voice around you says you should. You've got to bet on yourself. You've got to believe that something greater is on the other side of your persistence. This is your time, not someday, not when things are easier, not when you feel ready. Now, dream bigger than you ever have, because you're not here to survive, you're here to lead. You're here to inspire. You're here to become the kind of person who doesn't just dream, but builds. The kind who doesn't just start, but finishes. And when life gets hard, because it will, you rise anyway. You keep going, you push one more time. Because greatness doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the relentless. Never dream big. And go claim the life that's been waiting for you.